Hello everyone. First of all, I want to thank you for your attendance here for coming this weather. It is very valuable for me. And then I want to thank to Timi who has organized this event. And I think she serves Turkish music more than many Turkish musicians. So I'm really glad to be here. Today we're gonna talk about foundations of Turkish music. I'm just going to try to be not to be boring, and we will learn about Turkish music in a, I think, fancy way. I don't know what Timi said about me, but I'm sure she said nice things about me. I'm a research assistant and lecturer in Elte University. I'm teaching and learning still Turkish music, and I play oud, and I also research about ethnomusicology, and I'm researching about Turkish music in Balkans and Europe, in Gagauzia, and especially the Oğuz music. My PhD thesis is about Oğuz music. Oğuz is one of two type of Turkish, we can say, three main type maybe. Oğuz music is a new definition of Turkish music, and I am trying to define it, and it's a very hard way. But I will tell something about Oğuz music, and we can also discuss it about if we can say if there's an Oğuz music or not. We can find a solution maybe here. Foundations. When I'm talking foundations, I want to say who are the Turks and what's Turkish music. We all know who are the Turks, and we all know what's Turkish music. But which Turks and which Turkish music is important point, I think. Especially who are the Turks when we say that. You see the map here, starting from Yakutistan and coming in the Kıpçak area to Kazakhstan, and going to Salur area, East Turkestan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, and Anatolia and Balkans. A very big area. Every Turk people here speaks Turkish, but in different ways. And every Turkic people in this area plays music, Turkish music, but different ways. So Turkish music separates and differs between countries. What we still can say, there's a Turkish music until there to there. Of course, it differs so much, and we will see in Anatolia, music still differs too much, and in this area, yes, really there are different types of Turkish music, but we can say that Turkish music, the ancient Turkish music, was started at that area, and because Turks started to live here, and then go in two different ways. One is from the north of Black Sea, one is from the north of south of Black Sea and Hazar Sea. The north way and south way is the main difference of shaping that music. We can say that at the north, music stayed a little bit pentatonic and diatonic, but in the south way, music differed in the point of microtonal music. So we can see microtonal Turkish music in this area, not in Kyrgyzstan, just East Turkestan, Turkmenistan, and this area. We all can see microtonal music, but in this area we cannot see any microtonal music. We can see pentatonic music and diatonic music, especially after the Soviet area. As it says, Turkic musical culture did not emerge in Anatolia, its roots extend far deeper into Inner Asia. Early Turkic societies were predominantly nomadic, and music functioned not only as entertainment, but as a ritual tool, a social memory system, and means of transmitting history. Instruments, poetic forms, and melodic structures traveled with migrating communities. As Turkey moved westward, their music absorbed new influences while retaining core structural concept, particularly model organization and formulatic melody, as I told. And at the 9th century, this music started to has some theories and some theorizations. The first of all, we know that Cuneyt. I'm sure some of you might know him. He introduced systematic discussions of music as a scientific discipline and explored its mathematical and psychological dimensions. We can say that there is a Greek influence in this view, and but we know in that point we have to say that we think Al-Kindi is Arab, Al-Farabi is Turkish, Ibn Sina maybe Persian, Nasreddin el-Tusi Arabic, Urmevi and Maragi are Turkish. But in this point, to theorize that music was an area matters. And then Al-Farabi, we call, developed one of the most comprehensive early frameworks of music theory and clearly distinguishing between theoretical and practical music. Al-Farabi always talks about the practical way of music. It is very important for us. And Ibn Sina extended Farabi's theoretical model while emphasizing a naturalistic and perceptual understanding of music. And Nasr al-Din el-Tusi, we call it el-Tusi because it is hard to say, approached music from a mathematical perspective because he is a very big mathematician, focusing primarily on interval theory and structural relations between pitches. As you see, that music in these centuries starting to have a theory. And then Urmevi, which is one of the most important theoreticians for us, established the influential 17-pitch system and shifted theory towards the analysis of living musical practice. That is where Turkish music theory starts, with Urmevi. Before, Al-Farabi, Kindi, Tusi starting to understand music's mathematical way, but in Urmevi we see that there's a traditional theoretical system with 17 pitches. That still we are using it our folk music, in Turkish folk music. Still this system is used. And Abdülkadir Meragi, it's in 14th and 15th centuries and live in Anatolia, mostly in Istanbul. Expanded and refined the systematic tradition, profoundly shaping later Ottoman and Turkish music theory. Meragi is the first theoretician used the word of makam. He is very important for us because he is one of the architectures of our music theory. We know that Turkish music is a modal music. We call that modes makam. And what is makam? You always hear something about makam. The shortest definition of makam is, I think, it is a pitch organization and melodic behavior. We can shortly introduce makam like that. And the melodic behavior, we call it seyir. It means traveling. For example, I want to show it from here. This is makam rast. I will sound it just like that. Sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol. It's like G major. But there's a microtone here. Sol, la, si, la, sol, fa, sol, si, la, sol. There's a glissando here. But same scale, but not starting here. Just starting here. You don't see this. I'm starting here. La, si, do, re, do, si, la. It differs to another makam, which we call it usha. What if la, si, do, re, it's dominant? What if dominant was mi? La, mi, re, do, re, mi, mi, re, do, si, la, mi, re, do, si, la. It differs to another makam, it's Hüseyni, because melodic behavior was changed. For example, I'm not touching the scale, just changing the tonics. La, si, do, re, mi, do, si, mi, fa, sol, mi, do, si. It's makam second, makam changed again. So this is how we get new makams from the scales. And we also have a pitch system, of course. But this system is a little bit different from Urmevi's 70th pitch system. This system has 24 pitches in one octave. One interval, we have 24 pitches. Which means, this is do and re. You know, in classical music, we have just a flat and sharp. But in microtones, we have, this is the most common system. We have also some other systems, but this is the most common system. We have 9 EQ pieces in one note. And we use this whole area according to the makams. We always change it. And this is Turkish, especially in Turkish classical music, Turkish art music, or Turkish court music, whatever, or Turkish makam music, whatever you say. This is our pitch system. And there is another way to make music. It's not, pitches or frequencies. There are some rhythmic patterns. Turkish music tradition has a very different ways of rhythmic patterns. In this, we call it usul. We say usul. For example, for instance, it is 10-8, and we play it just like that. Dum, teka, dum, tek, tek, dum, teka, dum, tek, tek. It's a pattern. In this map, the upper line means right hand and right lap, and the lower line means left hand and left lap. You can play anything in this way. Especially if you hit yourself hard. Our old teachers said that you memorize more easily because it hurts. And that is not, it is a normal usul, I can say. It can be simple, just like that. For 2-4 is but it can be that complicated sometimes. I'm not gonna play, don't be afraid, because it will take 15 minutes, I think. Some forms in Turkish music, you can see that big usuls. It is, by the way, 120/4. How this music is taught? The way of teaching this music is called meşk. We call it meşk. What is mesh? Mesh has oral and oral transmission, and master and apprentice model, memory-based learning, style and interpretation centered. But from an ethnomusicological perspective, mesh represents a model where musical identity is preserved through lead interaction rather than textual fixation. We learn the music from our master and we teach to our students. And some styles can be taught in this way because it's a microtonal music, and I showed you si, la, sol. There are some things that you cannot write. There's no notation for this. Of course, you can maybe, but if you don't hear it, it's meaningless. So mesh is our only teaching way. Still, I'm now working in a conservatory. I'm teaching Turkish music, but I still confess to myself, there is no system. If I make good music, my students make good music. If I play bad, my student will pay. Because not this time, because now there's media. Everyone can reach everything and listen from there. But before media, that was like that. I remember my childhood when I first started to play oud. I was listening to cassettes. No, it's impossible to take back. I'm taking back too much, and try to repeat. But now it's very easy. You know, YouTube makes it 2x, 4x, half x. And what forms we have in classical Turkish music or Turkish makam music? We can separate in two ways. One is instrumental forms, one is vocal forms. As you see, we have a lot of instrumental forms in Turkish music, like peşrev, methal, saz semaisi. Peşrev is a very common form, we can say that, and that big usuls, the long usuls, is mostly used in peşrevs, and methal is similar. Saz semai has always 10-8 usul, 10-8 rhythmic pattern. And Sirto Longa, Sirto is coming from Greek culture, like Sirtaki, Sirtaki is same word. And Longa coming from Polish culture, in a different way. It's a very fast form. And Zeybek is coming from Aegean world to Aegean area. Taksim is a bit important because Taksim is in the instrumental improvisation, and it's a very important form in Turkish music. And we can separate vocal forms with religious forms and non-religious forms. Short religious forms are mostly played in mosques or tekke, we say, you know, maybe some religious areas. Non-religious forms, şarkı, türkü, gazel, şarkı is song, türkü is folk song, but in makam way. There are a lot of forms, as you see. I taught Turkish makam music, but I need to talk also folk music traditions to understand the Turkish makam music, because as a foreign listener, you might be in trouble to understand which is folk, which is makam music, which is art music. Sometimes it can be very similar, but folk music traditions are really different from the makam music traditions. Turkish folk music represents extraordinary regional diversity, which I will show you. We encounter asymmetrical rhythms, variable tuning system, region-specific vocal styles, close integration of poetry and melody. Transmission is primarily oral, emphasizing performance practice over notation. Now I want to show and to listen to you something. It is Turkish map, you know. I add some songs from each area of Turkey. For example, I am starting with area of Trakya, area of European side of Turkey, western side. Music here just like that. It's a 9/8. It's a very common rhythmic pattern in Turkey. And you see the brasses, the zurna, and davul we say drum. I am going to Aegean side. We have again zurna. You can say surnay, surnay, surnay. We can show here. We can see here some slow rhythmic patterns. And sometimes it might be asymmetric because this drum hits must be according to dancer's feet. So drummer follows the dancer, and when it's okay, it's hit the drum. And this is from the North Black Sea side of Turkey. You will see the difference. We see a different instrument here. We call kemençe, Karadeniz kemençesi. Seven. This is middle of Anatolia. Bağlama is very popular in this area. Bağlama is always popular, but especially in this area. And this is my homegrown city from Bursa. Again 9/8. I'm going to east side of Turkey to one. There is still zurna, but the Aegean and Thracian zurnas were bigger. But this is a short one. A bit sharp. Bağlama is also popular here. And for last, it is the southeast area of Turkey. This is violin, but a very different way of playing. We call this area barak area. There are some improvisations with also instrument and vocal improvisations. Something like that. As you see, in just Anatolia, music differs so much. And if you think about the whole Turkic world, it should be most meaningful, because when you go to Balkans, you see another Turkish music, but you can still say Turkish music. If you go to Azerbaijan, you go to Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, you see different music, but still you can say Turkish music, because some scales are common, and some scales, some rhythmic patterns are same, some scales same. And if scales and rhythmic patterns are different, vocal styles are same. That we saw it in the Gagauzia. I think they are Christian Turks and speaking Turkish as a native language. Their music has no microtonal vibes, but their vocal style has some microtonal things. We sure that they forget microtonal music, but as a tradition, they still have it. We can say that. And finally, this is because we are here, and Timmy as know. Last year, we prepared a documentary for Turkish state channel, belgesel documentary channel, named Bağ, with my instructor, Professor Dr. Erdem Özdemir, and we try to find the mutual ways of Hungarian and Turkish music. That we talked before, that map, I want to go back. As you know, we know that music from the south has microtonal vibes, but north has not. And we know that Turkic and Magyarian Finugors lived at that area, and they separated in centuries, and they went there. But we can say that we call that Kumans, and we say that Oğuz, Kıpçak Oğuz. We named Kumans Kıpçak, but I will tell to Kuman. We tried to understand how Bartok did that research, and always we know that about this topic just Magyar academicians worked and researched this, but there is no Turkish academicians researching about Hungarian and Turkish music relations. So this was our starting point, and we discovered that Bartok went to Anatolia and went to a village in the mountains, the migrating people, and recorded something and surprised and said, "Oh, this is very similar to Magyar music." But if Bartok could go to northeast side of Turkey, where Kumans, Kıpçaks live there, I'm sure that he would find more similarities between Hungarian music, because we are not sure that Saigon or some people showed what they should have shown to Bartok. Especially in this north area, there are Kumans in Turkey, and we know that Kuman and Magyar relations are more solid than the Oğuz relations, because Bartok just went there, very south of Turkey, and they were Oğuz Turks. But in this area, there was Kıpçak Turks. So we decided to understand that, comparing not with Oğuz Turks, comparing with Kuman Turks or Kıpçak Turks in Turkey. And we find many things here, but next year we will make a project we prepared, and next summer we are starting our field research again, and we will try to find more. I hope we can find solid materials about that relation is real. Of course, it has been centuries, so we are not trying to find the same melodies, but we are trying to find some similarities, which last year we visited the Petras Maria. She's very valuable for us, and she played, she sang a song with her friends with an ensemble. It was just like the North Sea music that I played with Kemençe. I should make you listen. just it was very similar. And by the way, in an ethnomusicological view, we show that he was making some noises, some sounds, not noise, some sounds while singing. Oh, he. This is very similar. Especially where she do that is very similar. Which point of the song? We show that we see that in the North Sea side. So this area, Magyar and Turk music relations area, is really worth to study, worth to research, and we were gonna do that. So it's my third visit to Hungary, but I think we will make more visits. It seems like that. So thank you for listening. Next I will try to give some examples of Turkish music with my oud, and then my friends will join me. Our presentation is over and our recital will start soon. Thank you very much.